I'm going to start off by saying I was at a Diddy party. I don't think there's anybody that got in that crazy or that deep as P. Diddy. This is Britney, where supposedly she didn't do drugs and she didn't. Remember that whole phase where she was
Yeah.
still like the innocent, we spent New Year's Eve with her.
Wow. Cool.
And she was again, this is wild. She was not that innocent. Kim comes in and I'm like, "Hey Kim, my name is Steve. Pleasure to meet you. I'll be working with you all week." And again, I just want to let you know I'm not some creepy dude hanging out in the corner. I'm just letting you know who I am. And then 5 minutes later, Kanye's assistant comes over to me and says, "Don't talk to Kim." And I'm like, "Well, what?" And they're like, "Don't talk to Kim." And that's when that whole nonsense happened that time with Kim. That I got sued for like $30 million.
I am fascinated
Wait, hold on.
by your career journey is phenomenal. I've watched so many interviews with you, and when we were like talking about on the podcast Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's wedding, and people like Taylor Swift are there, and all these big celebrities, it got us talking
Mm.
about celebrity bodyguards and how
Mhm.
that actually works. So then I was like Googling, I was like, okay, who's a good celebrity bodyguard? And I came across you, Steve, and I was like, I'm gonna shoot my shot and slide into his DMs, and you're here. So thank you so much for
And
your
here we are.
time.
No, no worries. No problem. Like I said, I appreciate the time. It's funny because a lot of the stuff that we're going to discuss is stuff that's been in the past, but it's a lot of cool name, a lot of fun, a lot of fun memories, and we can rehash a couple. That'll be pretty fun.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I have to ask you, okay, this was the biggest question we had about, like,
Hmm.
celebrity bodyguards or around that wedding. So, when
Hmm.
there's, like, a big celebrity wedding, because you've worked with some big names in the past, like Kim and Kanye, Leonardo DiCaprio, and you when you go to a wedding like that and there's big stars
Hmm.
there, what do the bodyguards do? Is there, like, a bodyguards table? Do they when the star RSVPs, are they like, "Me plus 3 bodyguards," or how does that work?
That's great. No, well, again, so let's take a step back. I'm going to totally answer the question. So, and when I started with DiCaprio, it was pure happenstance. But I started when I was still an NYPD police officer. So it was different because when people say bodyguard, they think I'm like 6'6", 300. It was more that I had a gun and a shield. You know what I mean? So that meant more than being a big dude. So they always liked that because when I was hanging out with him, it looked like I was part of the group hanging out, but I could still have the ability if somebody was getting a little crazy to show my shield and and say, "Listen, take a walk," and that would be a lot more effective. So to the public, it would look more. He'd be more approachable looking, but not as approach. You know what I'm trying to say. So with that
Yeah.
being said, the reason why I'm even getting into that is when I was with Leo, I was part of the group in the sense where whatever he did, I did. So I was just part of everything, which was awesome. So wherever he went, I was part of. Where fast forward to Kanye was a totally different experience. And again, we had, yes, it's publicly known we had some issues and stuff, but he was more like, you know, you're there, I'm here, and again, which is respectful as well. But like I said, that was a different thing. So if I was going to a wedding with DiCaprio, uh, theoretically, I would be probably with them at a table
Ah,
because there's not like 10 bodyguards with him. It
yeah.
would be me. Where if I was with Kanye, and I'm just using those names because those are the two names you used, there would have probably been like a location that would have put us off somewhere where we all would have congregated,
Right.
together. So who's with, I don't know, I'm making shit up. Who's Kanye's guy, which is me, who's little Kim, who's this one, and we're all hanging out together, and and then when it's time to leave, we leave. So it would have been two different situations, and again, it was two different times. I mean, you're talking 10 years between. So yes, there would have probably been a bodyguard table if I was at a wedding with Kanye West. Yes.
We're going to say a massive thank you to Moody, who are the sponsor of our podcast. If you are wanting to look after your gut health, then you need to get amongst Moody. You can get their pre and probiotic sodas in your supermarkets in New Zealand. They are very, very low in sugar. They are high in fiber. They are scientifically formulated. And if you want to invest in your gut health, this is the easiest way to put it into your routine. Actually, I was at my mum's 70th on the weekend, and I've told you before how my mother-in-law is a full convert to the Moody hot chocolate. My mum's now all about the pre and probiotic sodas. So I'm telling you, once you pop, you can't stop with Moody, because now mum is wanting to get the hot chocolate and she's going to get the probiotic powder and all this sort of stuff. So check it out for yourself, moodyblends.com. I would love to be a fly on the wall when all of the bodyguards are having to be like sat together in a room. The stories that you guys must tell each other. What would be the wildest story that you've heard or witnessed doing that job?
Well, when I first met Kanye, well, both stories are great. When I first met DiCaprio and when I first met Kanye,
Oh my God,
great in
both.
different ways. Okay, so when I was a police officer, I was still working, believe it or not, at Chippendales, right?
Mate, like
So
the strippers?
like a stripper, yes.
Yes,
So
go Steve.
so what happens is I'm at a show, right? And this guy comes up to me and I have these two girls I want you to dance for at my penthouse. And I'm like, oh, okay. So anyhow, I go downstairs. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I go downstairs. I'm hanging out with the guys, and one of the dancers comes down and says to me, he goes, that guy is still upstairs waiting for you. So I go, okay, let me go handle it. So I go up to him, and he's like, you ready? And I pull out my shield. I'm like, dude, I'm a cop. He's like, no, 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 I really got these girls. So anyhow, I go back to the place, right? And there's these two of the hottest like girls I've ever seen in my life, penthouse girls. I end up dancing for them. He gives me $2,000 at that point in time, and I'm
Thank you.
like, thank you. And he's like, by the way, I'm Leo's money manager. Would you be interested in working security? So I'm like, yeah, all right, call me. Again, could care less. You know what I mean? And that's how life was for me. Every time I didn't give a shit, that's when things happened. So anyhow, he calls me the very next day and says, hey, Leo wants to meet you. Can you get here at 8? And I'm like, I really can't because I'm doing a bachelorette party. Could I get there at 9? So he's like, all right, but don't be late. So I'm like, okay. So this is like right after Titanic. This is like, mega Leo, right? So
Amazing. Yeah.
I show up, I'm there, I get there like 45 minutes late. And I meet him, and there's nothing in common, right? Because I'm like a stripper cop, right? He's like one of the biggest stars in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I had happened to tear my ACL in my knee as a police officer. So
Yeah.
he's like, no way, dude. I tore my knee in Basketball Diaries. Do you mind if I see your scar? And I'm like, yeah, as long as you don't mind the G-string I'm wearing. And I fucking pull my pants down, and I'm sitting in a purple thong, and that was it. It broke the ice. Now everybody was dying. I was the cool cop, with a purple G-string, and
Love.
that's how I kind of got in with him. And then because I was in with him, I was with everybody who was big in the '90s, like '99, like
Oh,
Toby, Alanis, Michael Stipe from REM, that whole crew. They used to call it the Pussy
what?
Posse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. David Blaine, Q-Tip, all those guys. I was, part of the whole thing. Um, so that's how that's how it morphed into me going into the film business. But different story. So with Kanye, again, I had no interest in coming back. They were just happened to look for guys that were armed, that were former police officers, and I just happened to be between gigs. And they told me I probably wouldn't last more than a day. That's how I got. That's how I got hired. You're probably not
Yeah.
going to last, but would you be interested in working the fashion week? Because he had a line of clothing. So I said sure. So I go to the warehouse, and originally I was assigned to Kim. So Kim comes in, and I'm like, "Hey, Kim, my name is Steve. Pleasure to meet you. I'll be working with you all week." And again, I just want to let you know I'm not some creepy dude hanging out in the corner. I'm just letting you know who I am. And then 5 minutes later, Kanye's assistant comes over to me and says, "Don't talk to Kim." And I'm like, "Well, what?" And they're like, "Don't talk to Kim." I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I was just introducing myself." So anyhow, I get reassigned to Kanye. So the next day, my job is to meet him at the studio. That was my first day one on one with Kanye, right? So we go into the music studio, and he comes up to me and he's like, we're at the elevator now with him. It's him and I at the elevator, and he's like, "Aren't you going to push the button?"
Uh,
And I'm like, I don't know where we're going, Mr. West." So he's like, "You mean you didn't call up ahead and find?" So I said, "Wait a minute, dude." So because I don't give it now. Keep in mind, I don't give a fuck because I'm not gonna be. I'm not a security anymore. So I was doing it part time. So I don't care. So I'm like, "Dude, we can do this three ways. Three. A, you can press the button, and now I can see, and then from now on, I'll press the button because I know where to go. B, you could tell me which button to press, and now I'll press the button because now I know. Or C, we can both stand here for fucking 10 hours and you could tell me how busy your time is while you're obviously wasting your time yelling at me." And that was our first meeting. And believe it or not, he must have felt stupid because whatever jacket I had on, I don't even recall the jacket. When we were coming down at the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, your jacket's dope." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." So I guess that was his way, whatever.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is with him is not only did I last, but I was requested back and I didn't want to go back.
Wow.
Nobody knows this. I was requested back to go to the Met Gala and I got my price and I went back. And that's when that whole nonsense happened that time with Kim. That I got sued for like $30 million. But yes, so those were the two biggest ones with him. With was DiCaprio and Kanye. There was a ton between, but those were like the two that I guess I'm most known for,
Boy,
so to
yeah.
speak.
Who's your favorite? Like, if you had to name a, like, favorite celebrity of all time that you've ever worked with or met or had a night out with, who would your all-time be?
Wow, that's a good question.
'Cause it sounds like, oh my god, I could talk to you forever asking every single, like, "And then what happened? And then what happened? And then what happened?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah. Well, the funny thing is because I've been blessed in my lifetime to work with people in the film business, right? Blessed to work with people in the A-list Hollywood, and as well in the security side. So I've met a lot of people. Who would be the coolest? I'm going to throw a name at you that you're not even going to think about, but
"Okay,
and it's going to be random. But I did a film with him,
okay."
and God rest his soul. But it was one of those things where we just connected, and it was two different worlds. DMX. I'm going to say DMX
Amazing.
was such an amazing dude, and we worked on a film together. And again, I was former police officer, guy from Staten Island, and he's X. We used to call him X. That's how he like to be called.
Yeah.
Two different worlds, but there's some guys you do stuff with, and you have some things in common. But when the film is over, you leave. Some guys you just can't stand, and there's just some guys you just hit it off with. And X was one of my favorite guys to hang out with and to go do things with. And, it's a shame he left too early. But yeah, I would say X, DMX.
I love that. I was, like, a big DMX girl back in the day, so, like, I
Were you
appreciate that
really?
st I ve appreciate that story very much. I've had very many drunken nights, like, singing his songs and stuff, so I appreciate
That's
the
great.
story. If you haven't joined Uber One yet, then you are missing out. It's just $9.99 a month, and you can match your Uber rides and your Uber Eats like an absolute pro. The best part is you get $0 delivery fees on eligible orders, which is perfect for those nights where you just do not feel like leaving the house, you do not feel like cooking. Plus, you get 5% credit on all of your rides, making every trip just feel that little bit more rewarding. And there's also a bunch of exclusive offers on there and experiences from Uber partners too. To top it off, you will score $10 Uber cash back until the end of the year, provided that you remain a member. So just sign up and become a member today. It ends December 31st. T's and C's, minimum spends and fees apply. Aside from Kanye, who would be the person that you're just like, oh, never again? Like if that person turned up to the party, you're like, no.
I'm not gonna say I dislike. Yeah, I respect him because he's really a hardworking guy. I've never seen anybody work harder than Kanye West.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him that. From the time he woke up to the time he went to bed, nonstop. So he's got my respect for that. As far as people that were odd, I'm gonna say more eccentric. That I just, it's like, hey, and I would, would be Val Kilmer, believe it or not.
Really?
And again, not that he did anything wrong. No, he was just very eccentric. And
Yeah.
again, I'm going back to like late '90s with that one. So again, how he progressed as a person and later, I don't know.
Mm.
But I pretty much got along with everyone. And maybe because of the people I was around, maybe I got a little more respect, or even a lot of them respected the police officer thing, because I was active still. I would be with them, and I would go to work, and then I would go strip.
Wow.
So I should have had YouTube back then. I would have had my whole. Forget it.
Oh my God.
Forget it. But the point is, I would say eccentric and a little. I wouldn't kind of avoid. I would say Val Kilmer.
Wow, that's so interesting. Because when I was researching you, just like the names attached to you are unreal. Like Robert Downey Jr. and Tara Reid were like in there as well. It was just like,
Tara's great. I was just with her yesterday.
were you? Oh my God, I love Tara Reid. How is she?
Tara's
What's
awesome.
happening with
Tara's
her?
awesome. I'm actually now in Jersey,
Yeah,
and there was some sort of con, one of those, when they have the Comic Cons and stuff,
yeah.
Chiller, one of those things. So she was there, and we're gonna, I think, do something very shortly together. So we met. I haven't seen her in a hot minute anyway, so it was good to see her. But I just saw her literally Sunday, which was yesterday. Tara's
Oh,
awesome.
I loved
Yeah.
her. I hated
Oh,
how like
awesome.
she kind of had that like she kind of went through her young Hollywood phase like so many of them do, but like of course you would. Like that's such a fucked up world to be a part of. Like if like to delve into it just like a tiny bit, like what is your vibe on like the Britney Spears stuff? Like that to me just seems like super sad.
Funny story. Again, I have a fucking story for everything.
Oh my
So,
God. I love you, Steve. You're like the best interview ever.
oh my God, it's so funny because you're saying names that I could every single person you say a name for. I almost feel like it's nonsense because every name you happen to mention. So my buddy, this is like 2002, right?
Yeah.
So this is Britney, where supposedly she didn't do drugs and she didn't remember that whole phase where she was
Yeah.
still like the innocent. So my buddy dated her. He had a place in on 39th and Lex. It was called Saga,
Yeah.
and he was with her for just a hot minute. He knew her brother, um, and we spent New Year's Eve with her. Um,
Wow. Cool.
and she was again. This is wild. She was not that innocent.
I'm picking up what
You
you're
know,
putting down there, Steve.
oops, she did it again. But again, it's funny because you're just happening to mention people that I've had dealings with. Again, I only met
Yeah.
her. My friend dated her for a hot minute, and that was my dealings with Britney. I didn't work with her, but
Yeah.
What was the question on Britney? I'm sorry,
Just
you
like,
had a question.
what do you think about that whole scenario? Like, because it just seems very sad. Like Kevin Federline's coming out now, and he's like, "Look, I got to put it out there. Nothing else is working because if I don't, it's gonna go one of two ways, where she either gets healthy or she dies, pretty much."
Right. It's funny how Kevin Federline didn't say that or worry about that when he was when he was with her having a baby. Um, that she didn't just become like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just funny. Um, with knowing a little of what I do with that,
Mm.
um, is a headline chaser a little bit too. Um, Again, there's nothing he didn't say just there that he didn't have to go to the press with that. If he was that concerned as a father of a mutual child, um, take the right steps,
Yeah.
maybe in private or what have you. But um, I think there's definitely an imbalance, definitely an imbalance. There's an imbalance, and again, I'm not a professional, so I'm
No.
my opinion from afar. I don't think that was a Hollywood thing, though. I just think she's always been a little um, imbalanced. Some people, it's
Yeah.
a Hollywood thing. Um, I'll give you one. You have one time for a quick story? Another quick
Yeah, I
story?
got so all the time in the world for your story, Steve.
So I happen to have, I had a meeting. They talked because, again, this is with somebody that did fuck up. Hollywood did fuck them up a little bit. I had a
Yeah.
meeting with one time with Corey Feldman,
Oh, wow.
right? So
Yeah.
I was working on a TV show and he was interested in doing a part, right?
Yeah.
So he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I don't want to be noticed tonight, okay?" He goes, I got this place. I'm going to
Mm.
send you the address, but I don't really want anybody to know I'm there." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I don't no sweat, right?" So he
Yeah.
goes, meet me there at 8:30. So I'm like, okay. So I go to the place and I get there before he does, right? So they escort me to the table, and the table they put me, it's like right in the middle of the dance floor. And I'm like,
What? Oh my god.
I said, "Excuse me." I said, "I think there's a mistake." Um, I was told that we wanted to be in like a VIP section. And we're right in the middle of the floor. He goes, "No, no, no. This is where Mr. Feldman told us to put you." I said, "Oh, okay." Um, so I said, "Okay." So I'm hanging out, waiting for him to come. He then comes in a full Michael Jackson, uh, what do you call it?
Fedora?
Annie, are
The
you
fedora?
okay? Outfit,
Yeah.
the whole white outfit with the curl,
Oh my
and
god.
two chicks dressed as angels with halos and wings. And I'm like,
What?
"Dude," I said, I said, I'm glad you want to be inconspicuous because I'd hate to see if you wanted to, if you
Yeah.
wanted to be noted.
Yeah.
That again, you had to be there. It was fucking
Oh
hilarious
my
because
god.
the whole trip there, it was about being like nobody can know I'm there, nobody,
Yeah.
and we've been put right in the middle of the floor, and he has I have a picture. I got to find one day of that, but he's dressed in a full Annie, are you okay? Fedora, with two girls dressed as angels. So I mean that you can't make that one up. But yes,
No.
I have a picture, and I got to find that one
Oh
day.
my god, that is so good. Because I guess, like, the other thing that's so big in pop culture at the moment, and I guess with you being part of, like, the scene in New York and, like, dabbling with stuff, around in different parts of America as well, like, when you heard all this stuff coming up about Diddy, were you like,
Hmm.
"Finally, this guy's being caught because he was kind of notorious for it?" Or do you think as somebody that's been deep in the industry for so long, do you think this is just the beginning of bigger exposures of celebrities and doing, like, sinister stuff that's similar?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying I was at a Diddy party, um, but it wasn't a freak off. I went back
Okay.
in 1999. I went with people.
Mhm.
It was in the Hamptons. It was crazy. And then when he found, he was cordial when he found out who I was and why I was there and what I did on the side
Yeah,
as a police officer. I was kindly asked to wait outside, so I don't know
I
what
bet.
would happen in the inner sanctum, but it wasn't anything that nutty back then. I don't think there's anybody that got in that crazy or that deep as as not Kanye, yeah, as P Diddy. I think P Diddy took it to a level that I don't think anybody at this point with social media and where we are could get that deep in. You know what I mean? I mean, he kind of had his hand in everything. He was almost
Yeah.
like the Al Capone of Hollywood in a sense because he had some things on everybody, um, whether
True.
music business or in Hollywood, as far as people getting roles or people getting music contracts or um, yeah. And I just think when you have so much access like that over years, you need it's human nature to you know how do I push the envelope next? All right,
Yeah.
excuse my language. I'm fucking two girls. Let me fuck five, or I'm five. Let me bring in a circus animal. Let me
Yeah.
bring in I don't know. Let's
Yeah.
bring in a chimpanzee. Let's bring in So I mean, at some point when you can get anything and do every single thing and have no limit in life, I guess that could happen. I don't see myself. Well, again, I can't put myself there because I've never
Yeah.
been to that point in life of power and rich. But I would assume that does give you a
Mm.
false sense of entitlement, power, untouchable type of thing. But yeah, I don't know if that could ever. I don't know if it can happen again. Maybe it can. I don't know.
Also, like, there's so many concerning things about it, but also, like, his recycling must have been crazy because for someone that had so much baby oil, it just blows my mind he just didn't get a bigger bottle. Like, he just had hundreds of little bottles. It's like, just get a fucking big bottle, did he? Just, like, tip it everywhere rather than having all these little like, his bin situation must have been horrendous. And that's a very random thought, but I couldn't stop thinking about it when I saw the photos.
No, listen. Again, it makes 100% total sense, right?
Yeah.
But again, Jeffrey Dahmer got caught because of a park. Not Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm sorry. The son of Sam got caught because of a parking ticket. So again, at some point in time, you just get so to a point where you think you're outsmarting the car. You're doing this. You're doing that. I just
Yeah.
think why not get a big bottle? Why have 50,000 little bottles of baby oil?
Exactly, exactly, Steve. We're on the same wavelength. Now, obviously, like
Right?
you've left like kind of this part, like the working with like as a bodyguard kind of thing behind now, and you're actually working in like the movies and stuff. So, what are you doing now, and how can people keep up with what you're up to? I just find you so fascinating. Like
Well,
I
thank
could
you.
just if
Thank you.
I'm ever in New York, I'm just gonna track you down and be like, Steve,
Yes.
we're going out, and we're gonna get all the goss, and I'm here for it. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Whenever you want. Whenever you want. I'm here
Yes.
waiting for you. Um, sure. So right now we just finished the second season of Grey Kills 2. It's a TV show that's a Tubi original. It's a great show. It has Kathy Moriarty's in it, who I love. She was Raging Bull was her big, she's an Oscar nominated award winning actress.
Epic.
Eric Roberts, who's great. He plays himself.
Oh, love
Um,
him.
Mai Ling, who I love. Great. It's just a mockumentary about a camera crew that follows around a hitman. It's like The Office meets The Sopranos. And it really it's taken off pretty well. And we have a new film right now going in pre-production called Red Money, which I'm excited about. So there's a lot of things going on, which is pretty cool.
God, you are such a talented man. Like
Thank
your
you.
resume and your life experience is just unreal. So thank you so much for your time today,
Oh,
Steve.
my pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I genuinely have done this job for 20 years, and I think this is definitely top 5 favorite interview of all time. A little bit extra is brought to you by Moody. If you're a terrible sleeper, like your old mate Sharon over here, you need to try the Moody hot chocolate or milk chocolate. This is like a magical potion of magnesium and reishi mushrooms and ashwagandha, my favorite herb, all mixed together in this like delicious hot chocolate. And the hot chocolate's got this unreal like cacao taste in it. And you drink that before bed and it will like knock you out to sleep in a great way, and you wake up feeling so refreshed. So if you're having trouble with sleeping, if you're also someone that gets quite anxious, it's really good for stress management as well, then try the Moody hot chocolate or milk chocolate. It's absolutely beautiful. You can find it on moodyblends.com.